What's up, folks? It's nighttime. Good on the nighttime. And I just wanted to come on and say hello. How is everybody doing? I want to talk about the importance of communication. Because even I sometimes think that I communicate effectively. And I've been proven wrong. That's a real fact. Because sometimes I feel like if I say something more than once, I get to the third time or something like that, I get a little frustrated because I'm like, all right, come on now. Do you hear me? Or no, I don't want to do it, No, I'm being nice when I say it like that. Nah, I really have a cutthroat ass attitude. I'll just like snip your fucking balls off, pretty much. It's like people think I shut down. No, I don't. I just move forward. Now the old me meaning like years ago, shut down. But I've had several things happen, right, that were similar to other several things in the past. So if you already kind of go through it, you already kind of got an idea on, how the rest of the road is going to go. Even if it's super tragic. And that's just being 100. Super tragic. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I want to talk about these kids is out. I'm making sure they don't get hit by no car riding bikes at night. And I'm out here watching them in my car. And if they get a little too crazy, it might make my little nerves a little bad. Might have to like a little joint or two or some shit. But no, in reference to communication, I'm saying something because it's like I've had people as friends, family, associates, co-workers. It doesn't matter, right? It's something about effective communication. And it's a no-brainer when people come to you and they on more bullshit, shooting the breeze. And it's to keep you in a lighter mood, state of mind, And then other things they do, they'll test you, okay, to see where your mood changes and all that kind of stuff. Well, what a lot of people don't understand, like even the people that did all the wrong things to me, they didn't have effective communication. They thought that they did, okay? But when you have a take mentality, and when you just out to get something, you know what I'm saying? You're going to fast talk the fuck out of somebody. And then you're going to want them to only agree with you. You're not going to want them to have an opinion about what you got going on. You just want them to side with you so you can keep on going. Even if it's to your detriment, right? But somehow these people don't think you know that. It's like they really think that their gift to gab is like so on point, okay? And that they have crossed all their T's and dotted all their I's in their communication. And believe it or not, they leave so many clues. They leave a lot of clues, And they want to say how they're interested. But at the same time, like I'm going to say I have a Toyota Camry, okay? 2007, right? And I'm in a, what is this called? A ranch style house, I think. single family dwelling home. I'm just going to go with it like that, okay? But someone or people can look at what I have and be like, she just thinks she just chilling. You know, you just able to do you, or they find something bad about it. And it's not like you're doing anything bad, you know. It's just the fact that you are harmonious within yourself and your environment and your home. Somehow these people can't stand it. Because they are already, it's like they were born in a chaotic mess. And everything they do, they feel like it has to be chaotic, you know. And you don't need that. But through conditioning, people think they do, you know. And so when you just are yourself, they still look at you like a fraud because they're a fraud. In their mind, they're like, man, nah, she's just as corrupt as us because we're cool, you know. It doesn't matter if they hear me say I'm going through something. Something happened, you know. And when I had the death of my passed over loved one, I went to work. I was evil bitch at work. But not to anyone else. Like, not even to myself. It's just the look on my face was like evil as fuck. And most of it, I was like thinking, concentrating, focused. You know, just whatever I had going on in my mind. Because I was trying to just figure so much shit out. Because so many things were out of place. It just wasn't the way I know I had it in the past. And I realized as the different people came along, there was a different form of chaos, you know, different form. And then I also noticed too, they want you to be on that up and down roller coaster, right? And it's not necessarily straightforward communication, even though they think it is. But their straightforward communication is saying, man, I was going to make it, but I had some shit happen and I just can't come, you know. Or I'll be there in a little bit and they get there like 5 hours later, right? And they think you don't know that they're a part of something. But you know. And as things started to change in a negative way rapidly for me, I said, let me step back. I'm not going to communicate. Because the more I communicate, and I'm effective with it and thorough with it, and I can break it down, whatever it is, and then they'll take that information and they'll run it back to someone else, you know? So I said, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm not going to have any company anymore. I'm not going to express my feelings, and I'm not going to, like, feed you my time or my knowledge or just anything, you know. And that's my way. Sometimes I don't want to say that, but that's my way of just saying, hey, see if you can sink or swim, you know. You got this? Because it's like the minute you have an arrogance to you, an attitude to you, any of that misplaced entitlement, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, you know, well, shit. let me be your student, okay? You teach me. You'll see all the people that claim that they know the fuck they talking about, don't know what the hell they talking about. Deer in the headlights stuck. Can't break shit down, can't make shit happen, can't create a damn thing, can't roll nothing over, can't rub two nickels together. It's like all that shit, right? But these different groups of people that had different opportunities to interact with me, right? And they could see what I would do. And when they would see it, they would be like, oh, I could do that. Shit, that's nothing. I can put all that shit together. But then they would get mad when it doesn't turn out, the way mine does. And I said, well, it's my work, Or when you actually study something and you want to implement it, implementation means like that's like a part of you. But when you take something, you just regurgitating it. It's not a part of you. It doesn't have the same ebb and flow. It doesn't have the same rhythm. Excuse me. I was laughing at them too. It doesn't have like that juice, you know what I'm saying? That lets people know it's you. I tend to leave that everywhere I go. Like even when I had my commercial cleaning business, my GM would be like, we can tell if you were here. We know when you cleaned. We know when you send somebody else. And I'm like, damn it, man. And even when I think back then, that was like 2012 or 13 or something like that. There were men that came into my life then that were sabotaging the fuck out of me. Deliberately too. Like literally. It's like one guy came into my life and we won't talking long, He was more concerned about my business than I was. Wanted to just change the structure, change this, implement this. I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. I ain't in your shit. The fuck is you in my shit for? I ain't asked for your opinion, I didn't say I needed anything, And sometimes in communication, you got to establish that distinction. Because people don't even realize even when they do that, they're overstepping their boundaries. All they do realize is the fact that you got something and it's popping and it's working faster than my shit. And I'm going to bogart my way in there. And this is the thing that I can't stand. Is the fact that because I'm a female, men think they can just, even though my father would talk to me because I would be in male industries for work. And he'll tell me it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's like a pay-to-play type shit, because people cut you off. They take your knowledge as if it's their own, and you might have closed that sale. That motherfucker go right behind your back and say, she's sick today. And you build up your wit to just maneuver past all the shit. And then what I couldn't wrap my head around was that, like, damn, there's another little shit. And they come in the form of, like, men that want to be my little boyfriends or something. And then I start asking, like, who told you about me? Or, what made you become interested in me? Or it's like, why are you so interested in all my other shit? I noticed when people couldn't regurgitate an answer, they only had a motive. Only had a motive. And I also noticed as well that, and this is something that you should pay attention to, because when I say I've had to pay attention to every little fucking detail, okay? No matter who it is, I'm paying attention, okay? But this was something that people would do, all right? They would know information about you that's personal to you, that you know you would have to go through a professional of some kind to get the information, because it's not easily accessible to the rest of the world, you know? It's like, stop that shit, okay? You know, it's on the lines of, if it was medical, if it was criminal, if it was just personal shit, right? And someone, or that particular person, will blurt something out. And I would be like, come again? Or, you know, how do you know that? Or, what? What the fuck? You know, where's this shit coming from? Okay. Now, this was, I'm going to get a little more specific, okay? Like, one guy, the same guy that, you know, thought when we got together, he was just going to take over my shit. And I'm like, no, the fuck you not. Okay? But he looked at me one day and he looked puzzled, right? And he said, well, you don't look like you have, you know, herpes. I said, what the fuck? Who just says this shit randomly out their fucking mouth? And I'm like, no, I don't have fucking herpes. Like, what the fuck? Okay? But these are the other things I also noticed. No one viewed me as intelligent. They would always like already have a formulated blueprint of me. Okay? And that would be on the lines of, she's going to need some help. You know, she doesn't know what she's doing. And she's going to need to be coached, and she's going to need to be... It was like they really thought they had a ghetto, non-educated, clueless, you know, woman that just never had her shit together, okay? And miraculously, she only has her shit together if you're in her life. And I'm thinking to myself, who in the fuck is spinning this narrative? Who in the fuck is downplaying my efforts, you know, who has this type of audacity? So, these evil people that I talk about, where everything intensified to, hey, where we are now, they started literally back 2012, 2009, they shit. Like, they made sure to work at some shit. Did you call me? Did you call me? Y'all need to make sure y'all out the way for cars. So, I knew that even though I was out meeting new people, the people that approached me that were interested in me, they already knew about me with a spin and a twist, in the negative. And I'm like, where the fuck does that come from when I ain't doing none of that shit? It was like the total opposite of me. Opposite of me. Okay? Like, even this weight on me is the opposite of me. I have this weight because I'm waiting on the rest of these people to drop off of my black ass. Okay? And I hate to say it, the thing with transfers through divination, they don't drop off until shit start getting devastating for their ass. And they can't keep their little rituals and shit up. They can't do, I don't know what the fuck they be doing, but they can't do it, okay? And then I noticed my body literally would change. My body would change. But the time and effort that these folks put in to have me seem stupid as fuck was insulting enough. It made me so angry. And I hated the fact that, they hid behind devices of all kinds, So it wasn't that, like, I am not a dateable person or a well-informed person, It was what I was running into. But some of these men had, like, good jobs, degrees. I mean, they didn't seem so shallow, right? But they didn't want a strong nothing. They was like, strength. It was kind of like they already read some shit, and the shit they read, and then they had my picture at the end. They're like, yeah, that's what I want right there, And it was mostly on the lines of, hey, a good time, good conversation, and it'll lead to something, I guess. I don't know. But they had a PS, they had a spill, I'm saying this to say, because if there's not effective communication with whomever that that you're dealing with, that's around you, they plotting. all day, every day. They ain't doing shit else but plotting. You know why? Because intellect is built over you doing some studying, some education, some higher learning. And they don't care to do that. You know? And these folk did shit themselves. All they did was take their actual reality and just want to dump that shit on me. And then they just watch me to, mimic my reality. Mimic it, but not actually kind of like be a part of it. So if I said I took a class, do they go take the class? No. But they would take the credit for the class. Okay? Now, I'm fast forwarding this because this is when the negativity got to an all-time low. And I recognized it so big. And I said to myself, I've really fucked up. You know, I really put too much thought into this person. And I saw the writing on the wall. And I chose to ignore it. Okay? So, this female would watch me. We would have conversations. We would smoke even together. Okay? You getting different jewels, different nuggets, but it's like that information, you only use it for certain shit. It wasn't to really learn. It wasn't to really grow or elevate. It was just to one up another. It was like if I said the sky was blue, then she might come back with, nah. I think that sky is green. And I know because I'm better than you. And I know because I think better than you. And I know because since you said it, I gotta do it better, you know? Now, I didn't understand that logic. Because I would be looking like, it's no competition. But I didn't have to, I felt like I didn't have to say that out of my mouth. You know? I was like, man, you can bend out of shape out of that? Yeah. Yeah. To each his own. Step it up. Okay? I decide to go back into corporate to regain my license for insurance. I found what I know and thought the perfect job. Okay. The job where I was, I didn't have a problem with telling my friends. It was like, who wouldn't want a six-figure job, cool boss, okay, flexibility, you know, and room to grow, right? Who doesn't want that? Not these people. No. No. I saw this woman get angry, throw a fit, cuss me out. Not only that, she came with more drama. She had a situation that would happen with her car, and then she had a thing with men. And it was like, and this was a couple of females that a lot of them I ran into that were like this. And I'm telling you guys these things because, shit, you might have one in your goddamn camp. And you need to know the signs and recognize the shit. Because it's some real shit. It's some real shit, okay? You know, she might say, hey, I need help with this. Let a man call her. Lose her goddamn mind, boy. Forget all about she called me. Forget all about that she just gave me the little Drum Express train conversation. And so I would call back and be like, okay, I can come, or I can't come, I'm doing this or whatever. And she wouldn't answer, you know? And she'll purposely wait. And then she'll call back or text, and then she'll say, oh no, such and such came. It's okay, he's doing it for me. Oh, don't worry about it. It was like anything with the man, she wanted to rub that shit all over motherfucker. But in my eyes, I'm like, okay, shit, fuck it. I ain't gotta go nowhere. Shit. But it was like, even with the men, I'm not fucking these men. This is what the hell you doing, you know? But what you will notice with these women, if you are around those men, they don't want you to be cuter than them, smarter than them, more outgoing than them, okay? And you can hold a conversation with a guy, and you can be cool with a guy. It's not just all about sex with a guy. Like, the guy will still call you up like, yo, what's up? We cool. You know? They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. Okay? But what they'll do is they'll sabotage your shit just in group setting conversations. And then they'll do something to embarrass you in front of that dude to make themselves look better. And I would see it, and I'm like, you know, all that wasn't necessary. You know, if you like them, you just should say that. You know? You don't have to do all that extra bullshit. I'm not into all that. You know? And I don't be fighting no woman over no man. But these women, they'll fight you. Fight you, cut you, they'll fuck you up. They'll, you know, in all kinds of ways. Henceforth, that's bullshit. Hey, I went through. Still kind of going through. Because of how they think. Okay? Now, there are other things that I saw that were red flags. And I get a little down because it's like you can see that there's low self-esteem. You can see the hurt, the trauma. You can see the dangerous ways that they go after attention. And they're willing to harm you and harm others for that attention of whomever that man is. Lying is a thing. Stealing is a thing. You know, slander is a thing. It's like all this shit is a thing. And I started to think like, damn, is these bitches programmed? Like, did they go through a fucking school for just sabotaging regular ass motherfucking women? Like, what the hell? But they do come with a signature, a protocol, some type of pamphlet. You know, it's a blueprint to the shit. Okay? Now, I say this about communication because I should have went my first thought and never had this person as a friend. Because there were signs that would show me that's not what she is. You know? But it was something about the compassion that had been coming over me for the past about 5 years in reference to people. Just seeing the levels of hurt and the levels of just, I want to call it a sunken place in the inside. And when you see it manifest on the outside, it's like, what the fuck happened to you? Because shit that is supposed to be good for you, that's not what they want. That's not what they're looking for. You know? I had another friend. Man. She had a great guy. And she would leave that guy for a toxic. Jesus, toxic. I mean, the other dude wanted to just put on drugs and, beat on her and shit. And I would defend her against him. And I would say shit to her like, you're a pretty girl, right? You know you're cute. You got qualities about yourself that you shouldn't be putting up with that. And because I was deterring her away from him, the toxic man, right? He wanted to inflict like some of that toxicity onto me. And I would just tell him, nah, that's not what you're gonna do. I don't tolerate that. And one of them I had to say, because he did some shit when I was at her house, or no, at his mom's house. His mother was there too. And he had kind of tripped me up. The evil in me came out so quick. And I told him, I said, I will beat your motherfucking ass in front of your motherfucking mama. I ain't your girl. I don't give a fuck that I'm in your mama's house. But what you not gonna do is disrespect me. Because you want this woman right here to suffer because of whatever the fuck you got going on and your mental that's fucked up. You get it? And I told her to get up. Come on, you're going with me. But there's a disconnect in these women. And there's a disconnect in these men. Okay? Now, my doppelganger, she has a disconnect. Which leads to the other thing. Money. Everyone did all this for money. It didn't matter how good I was to them. It didn't matter how encouraging I was. It didn't matter what I helped them out with. It did not matter whatever goals that I achieved and I wanted them to achieve, but they didn't care not to fucking achieve them, And I literally had to say to a few of my old folk, was like, hey, I'm doing this, and this. Do you want to do some of this shit with me? They be like, no. I'm like, all right. And if I done 2 or 3 things to advance myself or to keep myself relevant or to keep my knowledge going, right? Even in times where I'm just sitting, I would end up saying at some point, like, damn, I did these 3 things. What, you ain't did shit, but you want to still come chill. And it's something about when you want to restructure yourself and your life. You always have to reevaluate your friends all the time. Believe it or not, I was constantly doing that. But because in these past 2-3 years, I did the unconditional love type road, trying to look beyond certain things. giving people benefit of the doubt, it was kind of, soon as I did this shit, soon as I did it, it was like immediately I was hit with all of the shit that I've never wanted in my life. It was like somebody asked me something, and I told all the things I don't like. And then, you know what they did? Put all the shit that I don't like right in front of my motherfucking face. In my life. Just turn that bitch upside down. You know? But this is the kicker. The reason why I say something about money is because they wanted it to be a plethora of instability. They wanted it to outweigh the stableness in my mind, the stableness in my body, and the stableness in my home. Now, they succeeded with my home. They succeeded with my body. You know, because I got to work on this thing now. And I did lose weight, but I gained the shit back because, fuck. You know? Got people wanting to do little hocus pocus shit on you. Like, damn. Let me just step back and say this. It's not like witches and warlocks have the little fucking pointy hat on. With the little broom, you know, or the wand, you know. They don't wear that shit. So, but you know you got them, right? In your neighborhood, you know you got them. And I would just be like, I never wanted to see the faces. And it wasn't because I was scared of the faces. It was just like, you know how you can put the face to the name? It would be like I would put the face to the name and to the fucked up ass occupation. And I'm like, damn. I just don't want to. Something about thinking about it, you know. And I realized in that world, no boundaries at all about anything. None. You know. And the main goal is always money. No matter what. Always money. Excuse me. I don't know how to scratch my throat. They don't get out the damn road. Okay. I had to get that out because I don't scratch my throat. They don't want me to talk about this shit. But it's always about money. Always. Ain't shit else is about but money. Okay? And what they do, they don't care about like they might have a job and they might have extra skills. They do not care about just doing that and not being a thief. The thievery That's regardless. Okay? That's regardless. All right? But they go around, they target everybody. And it's for money. You know, it's for money. But the reason why my case is different, I hold a big title, right? I didn't know I held a big title, okay? And that big title was already taken from me by several different people. And they were going to like take it again, okay? But because this jackpot of God's is huge. Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of different people just wanting to take me out of here, wanting to have me looked at differently than what I am. And I kept wondering, like, why would they be using religious factors? Like, why? But it's religious jackpot, you know. And then somehow there's a clause in it where, hey, you can't be a homeless, drunk, or crackhead or some shit. I don't know. But what was crazy, all those people are, though. So it's like, damn. And I'm not, like, making fun. What I want to highlight is they didn't have a good life. And they looked at my life as an opportunity to have a great life. Now, they looked at one part to my life, which is like how I am right now. They looked at that like, hey, I was already having a breezy life. But they knew that my life was going to get better. And they were like, damn, what the fuck? You know, they had problems with it. And they didn't have problems with it like telling me they got problems with it. They had problems with the shit amongst each other. Looking me up. And these people had decided that no, she doesn't need that. She's already been chilling. She doesn't need to stay in a blissful state of mind, you know, with a smile on her face or recovery. They literally looked at shit like, I recovered enough from this situation. Let's throw it back into another situation. And then if I recovered faster, let's throw it back into something else. Now let me tell you, the insurmountable of evil for money. Man dies at my house. My brother and him get into a tussle. He's my ex. But they get into a tussle. And in reality, my brother isn't supposed to be locked up. But they playing that. Right? Not even a year later, they wanted to plan it again. This time, because my brother's already in jail, they wanted to kill me. And either take my niece, or kill my niece, or like traffic my niece. Like, this is the shit in their mind. And I kind of intercepted whatever that plan was. It didn't matter. They still wanted to next rob me Okay. And they had plans of like raping me, assaulting me, and raping me. Okay. Everything was so sinister. So sinister. And along with like taking money here and there. But they wanted those things to happen to me. And let me explain how they came up with it. See, they've been raped, they've been hurt, they've been molested, they've been used, they've had sex so much that, they got different diseases. They've formulated a world. Literally, sex, drug, rock and roll. That's what it seems like. And with no limits, no consequences. Okay? Because the way they settled their consequences was to go and find abundant people, abundant families, to cover it. Okay? So they can still look wholesome, still look like, they got it going on, they know what the fuck they're doing, and they deserve to be in the positions that they hold, type shit. In reality, they don't. Right? But it is the thought process in their mind. And when your environment is toxic, chaotic, unstable, hurtful, right? All these things. It doesn't matter where you move. You're still like that. It doesn't matter the other environment somebody else puts you in. You're still like that. And it doesn't matter if you got all hood all over you. It's still there. That shit's not going nowhere. Because it's like you're carrying it. And they don't realize they're carrying baggage. But it's also a signature of theirs. And it's like every trail, they're writing it. It's like, oh, that looks like, sounds like, is, and it was her or him, right? But they get the sense of arrogance. They get the sense of entitlement. They get the sense of, I am all of that in a bag of chips with this money. And that this money is going to do any and everything for me. When I say none of these folks listened or paid attention, when I could hear them in the spirit saying, how's she still here? Why she's not dead yet? I would say all the time, God. That should go right over their head. Right over their head. And what they'll be thinking? Oh, we just need to put some more money together, pay another practitioner, and we're going to do a different type of death spell this time. It's like, you can tell the devil has been driving their vessel for a very long time. There's not any care there. It's just, I want what I want. It's like when I say about the devil being a little child. Because they actually do jump up and down like kids. Throw tantrums like fucking kids. Get loud and belligerent like a damn kid when they can't get something out of the store. And they're adults. And they take everything personal. Like you're just directing everything at them. And sometimes you are. But you look at it like, damn, it's some constructive criticism. It's not just criticism. Well, they don't see the construct part. Like, they don't see how they need to evolve and change. You know, they're stuck in a traumatic loop. And if they keep looking outside, they never have to look in. You know? And what I come to find out, even though these unstable people had already been told about me, right? And I just get to know them regular because I'm just thinking it's regular, like a conversation, okay? I don't realize their instability until I get closer as a friend or as, someone they care about. So even if it doesn't work out for me because of what I see, these people feel abandoned. They feel angry, hurt. They think like you're doing this deliberately to hurt them. They even forget the fact of who they really are. Because they found some form of solace, around me or in my energy. And they think it comes from them. Because they think that they've actually went in. And they think that they've actually did some healing. And they haven't. And they don't realize that they haven't done any healing until I leave. And then they become unstable again. But I didn't know I would be triggering like abandonment issues in these folks. Because I didn't know their history. I discovered it as I talked to them. But the courts knew. The organizations, they knew. The other crazies, they know. They were just hoping it'll just rub off on my ass and make me the same. People, if you are not raised the same, you will not be the same as other people. If you even take your time to elevate your mind, no matter if you live in the ghetto or the suburbs, your mind don't have you stay the same as the other people. There are so many things where they just didn't realize, like, this is just not going to work. Like, I would say this is a no-brainer for me. And I think other people in their logical mind, it's going to be a no-brainer for them too. And I want you to just think, if you send hits to my house and I do not die, and I tell you it's God that helped me, okay? And I live and you see me walk in and out of my house several times. You see me. Why would you keep doing it? Like, why? Like, why does your optimism say to you, hey, let's regroup. Let's redo this thing. 10 times a charm, 20 times a charm. It's not with God. It's just not. Think about it. Sometimes you just gotta recognize the miracles and call it a day. Okay? All right, folks. Hope you got something out of this shit.